Gaming is a culture. No matter what anyone says, since its first introduction, it instantly became an important part of our lives. By our lives, I mean everyone's life. At this point, it's not just kids and teens who game as parents think they do. It's actually got to the point where my family got my grandma a tablet and she games like crazy. Like, I'm talking that girl, like, she spends hours of gaming daily. She even plays video games more than me, which is kind of crazy. But is it just me, or games started to feel exhausting and like they are dragging on lately? Games kind of became too bloated. I'm talking about gigantic open worlds, which is fun in some games that can deal with that open world, but a lot of games cannot just make an open world because they think open world is like a trend or something, and people still actually buy it even though they don't know why. Filler quests, I'm not talking about side quests in games because these can be actually interesting and sometimes better than the actual story, but I'm talking about something like stupid that will take like 30 minutes of your time, like straight up talking with the NPCs. That is straight up stupid. Like, we don't need that shit. 50 plus hours campaign. Now this is basically became a standard. I see people on Instagram and on Twitter saying if GTA isn't more than 100 hours campaign, then it's not worth it. Dude, like, genuinely, do you want to sit through 100 hours of repeated campaign, or do you want to sit through 20 to 40 hours? I think 20 to 40 hours is the best range of length a campaign should have and could have, especially in this case about GTA 6. Maybe like 30 to 35, that should be a sweet spot for main story, and also a lot of side quests and a lot of fun activities. Of course, it would have. Or the question was, would you rather sit through 100 hours of a boring and repetitive campaign, or through 30 hours of a good campaign that has made it that was interesting the whole time? Also, another thing is endless crafting systems. Now, this is not bad. This can be good, especially with like skills or crafting in like games like Far Cry, Watch Dogs, etc. But this can drag on a lot. This can be very boring, and the game forcing you to craft or to improve your skills very boring and something that we don't need in games, especially with battle passes. Now, this is alright in online games, but in story mode games, this is just useless, dude. Like, why do we need battle passes in story mode games? Genuinely, who wants a battle pass story mode games? If there's anyone who wants a battle pass story mode games, please just click off this video, dude. This channel is not for you. Anyone else is welcome, but you, yes you, I'm talking to you. If you want battle passes in story mode games, this channel is not for you. Now, a specific game that made all this stand out a lot is Red Dead Redemption 2. While it's a great game, and it definitely should be and is praised for how awesome it is, it actually made all this more popular in newer games. And when a game like RDR2 has these stuff, it's fun, it actually makes it better. But when other games that genuinely shouldn't have this, I didn't find any example because my lazy ass didn't want to search two games that are just dragging on. It's just kind of dragging on and it has no point. We don't finish games anymore. Now, you might ask yourself why. It's actually because games are too long. As I already said, length is not the decision of how good is the game. I've played games with few hours of campaign and they were great. Let's talk about that Killer Frequency game. When I first played it in the summer of 2025, that was like a year ago, I loved that game. I was so fucking entertained the whole way through, and I think I finished it in maybe 2 days. It was like few playthroughs, maybe like 3 or 4 playthroughs, and it was a great game. It had a good storyline, it was a decision-making game, and I really think everybody should play that game. And that just proves that games do not need to be long to be good. Also, we all know that attention span got worse. Now, I don't want to dig deep into it, but with TikTok, short-form content, and all that, it got pretty bad. Too many releases. This actually hurts gaming more than people think it does. Because would you rather, now this is again a question, would you rather play one good, let's say, Assassin's Creed game in like 3 years, or play 3 decent to mid, like mid to decent Assassin's Creed games in 3 years? I think we'd all rather play one good game in 3 years, which actually proves that it's really quality over quantity. Games started to feel like chores, and you may wonder why is that. You see, the games before had clear storylines, they were simple, and most importantly, they were memorable. But nowadays, developers focus more on bigger maps, longer games, and genuinely they focus more on identity than the quality. As I already said, someone like Ubisoft would rather release 3 bad games than release 1 good game, and that destroys their legacy. Because imagine playing three decent games or 3 mid games, and let's say 2 of those games were actually okay and 1 game wasted your time entirely. Would you look forward to newer games from that company? Most likely no, if it's not a well-established company like, let's say, Rockstar or even Ubisoft. You would more look forward to a company that made 1 good game, then disappeared for 5 years, then came back with another great game, than with a company that made 3 mid games. Now the next part is for my YouTuber friends, so if there are any of you watching this video, let me hear y'all in the comments. Blast the comment section. Probably nobody's gonna comment, but that's alright. Gaming became more content than relaxation. Now, this is a trap I fell into where I kinda forced myself to develop this channel better. It was awkward and bad at first, but thankfully it is I can say, restored my love for gaming, and now I can enjoy a game while still writing and remembering something that boosts my creativity or something interesting generally. Now, with all this being said, I want to ask you, what do you feel? Are games just dragging on lately, and are they just making us feel exhausting more than they make us feel good? Answer this question in the comments, because I genuinely want to hear y'all answers and I want to reply to y'all.